From the field house at Richland Center High School, it's girls basketball on Hornet Replay. Hello everyone, I'm Rod Perry along with Ryan Zolik and our camera operator Deidre Perry, set to bring you tonight's non-conference contest as the Hornets host the defending Division IV state champion Cuba City Cubans. This telecast is brought to you by our many fine area sponsors. Wallace, Cooper, and Elliott Insurance is a locally owned and operated independent agency that has been serving southwest Wisconsin since 1947. They are proud to represent Liberty Mutual Fire Insurance Company, a leader in farm and home insurance for the past 141 years. Please call Wallace, Cooper, and Elliott Insurance at 647-6311 soon for a free, no-obligation farm or home quote with Liberty Mutual Fire Insurance Company. We want to be your local hometown agency. Walsh's Ace Farm, Home, and Hardware is your one-stop shop for everything under one roof. Walsh's Ace Hardware is available to serve your farm and home needs. Stop by the place where community comes together. Conveniently located off Highway 14 on Bowman Drive East in Richland Center, and also in Muscadet, Portage, and Ace of La Crosse. Well, Ryan, whenever you play Cuba City, you know it's going to be a tough game. Hornets probably aren't going to be up to the level of the Cubans tonight.
Yeah, that's for sure. They start a lot of underclassmen, so they're still trying to build their starting five and this team for Steve Board. And I think we kind of got a preview in that JV match what we might see out of the Cuba City Cubans and that just outstanding full court press that they present. And any team that they match is just going to have to deal with that. Of course, they're just all-around good athletes that this team out of Cuba City comes to.
I noticed at one point in the varsity reserve game that the score was 31-8, but the full court press was really working well.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, it's amazing how aggressive they stay at it, even at a distance like that. They never they're resilient, and no matter what the score is, and I think that's what Jeff Pustina has brought to this program throughout his many years of coaching. And both Pustina and Coach Ford go back a long ways. Even in the old SWAL division, both schools come in even as an old rival, and it's nice to see that both schools have renewed this rivalry over the last few years.
We were looking at the Wisconsin Sportsnet preseason all-state teams for girls basketball, and if you go to Division IV and go to the second team, you will find Jesse Marty, a junior for Cuba City, who is preseason All-State, and that's quite an honor.
Yeah, it is. Just thinking, right, there's no measure of coming into the season and to be on that list from all the players that play basketball throughout the state. That's be quite an honor, especially for a junior as well.
Well, the teams are warming up, the fans are getting ready, and it's Cuba City at Richland Center coming up. Richland Family Prescription Center, where they have the best drugs in town, would like to thank their many friends who trust them to manage their health. And they wish all high school students success in their co-curricular activities. The Richland Family Prescription Center, where you and your family always come first. The Richland Center Athletic Booster Club assists our Richland Center Hornets and our community by providing equipment, services, and encouragement to Hornet teams and coaches. The Booster Club support helps our young people reach their achievement goals in both scholastics and athletics. If you'd like to help, join us the first Wednesday of the month at 5:30 p.m. at Richland Center High School. The Richland Center Athletic Booster Club. All right, we're ready for the action to begin. And Ryan Zolik will make the call tonight.
Thanks, Rod. Glad to be along with Hornet Replay here at the RCHS Fieldhouse. Home opener for the Hornets tonight. And it's a tough one, that's for sure. As we mentioned earlier, the pregame, the defending Division IV state champions. It's amazing the non-conference schedule that Coach Ford has put together. And there's the tip-off. Cuba City will control. It's an amazing lineup, and this Hornet squad will be tested, that's for sure. Cuba City works it around. There's a three. Rims off and rebounded by Cuba City, put back in by Caitlin Spiegelvogel. Let's try that again. As the Hornets bring it up, that's Madison Reisner. She looks inside for Cassidy Whitney. As we talked about, this Cuba City defense is probably one of the best in the state. As Madison Reisner tries to go in, that will be a blocking call. That's going to go against Caitlin Kaiser. Just getting underway here at the RCHS Fieldhouse. Hornets down 2-0. Brooklyn Legal looking as she gets it into Cassidy Whitney. Whitney struggling. Gets it up to Lexi Ewing. Top, Brooke Peterson. Over to Madison Reiser. There's Cassidy Whitney. Back to Lexi Ewing. Hornets working it around the top of the key. Brooklyn Legal trying to rebound after a struggle last week against Sauk Prairie.
Yeah, Brooklyn was open for a lot of shots, but they just would not fall for her, and it made it kind of tough for the Hornets. They lost by just a few.
Yeah, I mean, that was probably the difference in the game. Nice pass to Madison Reisner, but great defensive work by Caitlin Kaiser, who gets the block out of bounds.
Yep. Kaiser really slammed that one out.
Hornets get it in. Lexi Ewing passes it back to Brooklyn Legal. This Hornet squad, they have a lot of years of growth ahead of them, and that's what Coach Ford is probably excited about. They're doing a lot of things right, but they're also just making those key mistakes as we just seen. 5 seconds was the call there. Turnover number 1 for the Hornets. Let's see if they can get a stop on this very good Cuba City offense as well. There's Kaiser with the shot. Misses. Nice rebound by Brooklyn Legal. Hornets looking to pass it up. Legal on the top. Coach Ford is going to call timeout, and he is not liking what he sees. 6:15 remaining in the first quarter. Hornets trail Cuba City 2-0.
The Richland County Bank in downtown Richland Center is proud to support all local area students. Providing complete financial services, they're located at 101 West Court Street in downtown Richland Center and feature convenient drive-through banking facilities. Stop in or visit richlandcountybank.com, or you can call 647-6306. Serving the Richland County area since 1881. The Richland County Bank, member FDIC. Nova Video Productions, downtown Richland Center, provides complete video production facilities, equipment, and services. Call Ben Kelch at 647-4246 for help with your project. Nova operates the local cable access channels under a contract with the City of Richland Center. Watch Our Town every week, and also tune in for Hornet Replay and other special programming. Nova Video Productions.
Just a 30-second timeout by Coach Ford, trying to get some offense working here for the Hornets as they just get it in to Madison Reisner. And she's going to carry the ball. Another turnover for the Hornets. So Cuba City gets another shot to build on their 2-0 lead.
Why wasn't that double dribble?
Yeah, that's... oh, we got a travel call, though. So a turnover by the Cubans. So both teams making some mistakes early on.
This is Cuba City's first game.
And 5 seconds is the call, so another turnover. Cassidy Whitney just could not get in. That's that very tough Cuba City pressure that we've seen early on in the JV match. That's Chloe Pustina with the drive and a miss. And that's going to be a foul on the Cubans. Looks like it's going to be a push.
Waiting. Molly waiting.
So Hornets doing a better job in this matchup. No fouls called on them thus far. I believe last week at Sauk Prairie they had 7 in that first quarter.
Yeah.
And of course Brooklyn Legal fouled out in that game. And nice drive and a finish by Cassidy Whitney. A great assist by Brooklyn Legal to find her on that weak side. So the Hornets get on the board and tie it up. And there's a shot and a miss by Spielvogel. And I believe we had a jump ball called. And the possession arrow remains with the Cubans. There's a 3. Rims out for Shea Learman. But Cuba City gets the rebound. A long 3 coming, and it is drained by Chloe Pustina. So the Cubans take a 5-2 lead after taking a long 3 by Pustina wide open. She's had a lot of siblings to practice against, and an errant pass by Cassidy Whitney. And Cuba City will take advantage. Jessica Marty, as we talked about early, preseason, all team for Division 4, and that will make it a 7-2 lead as Coach Ford uses his second timeout at the 4:57 mark of the first quarter.
The Pratt Funeral and Cremation Service serves the entire Richland Center area. Families in need turn to Pratt's for caring, compassionate assistance with all preparations. They've been helping area families for more than 125 years. The Pratt Funeral and Cremation Service, Richland Center, the Gottiger Pratt Funeral Home in Muscadet, and the Sealand Houston Funeral Home in Lafarge, always striving to satisfy every family wish and need.
We are back from timeout in just a matter of a couple minutes. What was a tie 2-2 and another 5 seconds. Coach Ford cannot be happy with that. I believe that's their second or third time this game that full court press by Cuba City. Great job by Brooklyn Legal to get the steal. So the Hornets are showing that they can play some defense as well tonight. I think that was one of their strong points last week when they opened up the season at Sauk Prairie, was their defense. Especially for a young team like this Hornet squad. Lexi Ewing has dribble. She passes it off. Shawnee Fink checks into the game for the Hornets for the first time tonight. Madison Reisner. Off to Ewing, down to Fink, and she finds Brooklyn Legal inside for the layup. Great teamwork right there by the Hornets to get around that defense. That makes it 7-4, the Cubans, and they are going to throw it over. And a turnover by the Cubans. So the Hornets get a chance. They could get within one or tie it on their next possession if they can inbound it. That's been the struggle so far against this pressure. And it's going to be stolen away by the Cubans. And that's going to be good for Caitlin Kaiser. That makes it 9-4, Cuba City at the 4-minute mark. This time the Hornets do get it in. Let's see if they can get it across the timeline. Madison Reisner does get it up as Brooklyn Legal be on top of the key. There's Reisner off the fink. Lexi Ewing has it on the far side. She drives, trying to get it to Reisner, but bounces off a Cuba City defender. And there's a three by Brooklyn Legal that's going to rim out and rebounded by the Cubans. As they push it up fast, missed shots, and it's going to be a jump ball back to Richland Center. So we've seen a fast-paced start to this game, Rod. This is probably
really
playing in the favor of Cuba City thus far.
It's good to see Brooklyn Legal get the inside basket for the Hornets. At Sauk City the other night, she mostly had outside shots.
Yeah, they did a good job of making her, they forced her to just take those outside shots, and of course she was just missing, and so they kind of let her go. And it's nice to see that the Hornets were able to penetrate this Cuba City defense. A tough zone, 2-3 zone, as there's Cassie Whitney. She tried a three. Nice rebound by Brooklyn Legal. Hornets are going to be a team that's going to need to hit a couple threes if they're going to want a chance to win the game. There's Brooklyn Legal once again, trying to drive on this tough defense by Cuba City. 2.5 minutes to go in this opening quarter here at the Fieldhouse. Hornets trail 9-4. And there they go. Nice job by, Cassidy Whitney had the layup. But nice rebound by Brooke Peterson. And she gets the and one. So the Hornets had a great look by Cassidy Whitney, but Brooke Peterson stayed with it, got the board, went up, and she's going to be vital down low for this Hornet squad.
Rachel Langmeyer got the foul.
And the free throw is missed, but great job by Madison Reiser. The Hornets getting a couple rebounds here.
Molly Weddig gets her second.
Fouls could be crucial here for Cuba City. We'll see how deep their bench is. They only have 3.
Weddig with 2 in the first quarter. That's good news for the Hornets.
Yes. So there's Reisner. I was going to say, I think she should be shooting 2, but she will miss the front end. Can get the Hornets back within 2 points with a free throw here. Hornets did a great job in Sauk Prairie. They made I believe 7 or 8 of 15, so not bad on the night at Sauk Prairie as Maz Reisner hits the second of 2. Hornets get within 2 at 7-9. Just about 2 minutes left in this first quarter. Cuba City drives, gets it out to Chloe Pustina, who shoots a 3 and misses everything. Nice rebound by Brooke Peterson. Up to Shawnee Fink.
One thing we notice is that the Hornets match up pretty well height-wise. In fact, they may be taller.
Yeah, which is kind of unusual for the Hornet team as of late. They haven't had much of size. And it's just amazing what this Cuba City program has done with the players they have gotten. Not always the tallest team, but fundamentally more, as you see another turnover by the Hornets, a carry by Cassidy Whitney. So a chance for the Hornets to tie it up or maybe even take the lead is postponed it at the moment. That's Chloe Pustina bringing it up for Cuba City as she tries to drive, passes it off, and Caitlin Kaiser back to Chloe Pustina, who drives lane, misses the layup. Nice rebound by Brooklyn Legal. trying to get it up. Even on just the one-person press, they are still pressing. It's something that has given this Cuba City program a lot of success over the last couple decades. Hornets still working, and another carry call on Cassidy Whitney.
That was an appropriate call.
Right in front of the referee tonight. So again, the Hornets had a chance to tie it up or take the lead. Still trailing 9-7 as we hit the 1 minute mark of the first quarter. We'll see if they can get another rebound and stop this Cuba City team. But a nice shot. That coming from Jessica Marty. Nice little touch that she got in. Let's see, just getting it in on the rebound are the Hornets. Hornets getting it up over this full court pressure we've seen throughout the game. Many turnovers. 30 seconds left in the first quarter. Hornets trail 11-7. Trying to probably get the final shot of this first quarter. So there's Cassidy Whitney for three. That's off the mark. Rebounded. Fought for, and it's going to be a jump ball, and it will go back to Cuba City for possessions as we see a couple substitutions. Lexi Ewing and Allison Schaff makes their first appearance in this game. And for Cuba City, Morgan Vosberg, as we hit 15 seconds. Cuba City's going to be looking for the final shot to build on their lead. The coach's daughter passes it off to Jessica Marty, who pushes it off with the final shot, and it's in. Morgan Vosberg comes in for the final 16 seconds and hits the final shot of the first quarter to give Cuba City a 13-7 lead. We'll be back with second quarter action right after this.
Ed's Family Foods, downtown Richland Center, providing a full line of grocery items along with full-service meat, produce, and bakery departments. Serving the community since 1987, Ed's provides full-service bagging with carry-out to your car, a friendly, courteous, and knowledgeable staff, and welcomes any special orders. 5% senior discount for 60 and older every Tuesday, and a 5% discount Saturdays and Sundays on orders of $50 or more, excluding tobacco and alcohol products. On the web at edsfamilyfoods.com with a weekly online ad, coupons, recipes, and more. Also on Facebook and Twitter. Ed's Family Foods, downtown Richland Center. Since 1955, Wirtz Plumbing and Heating has delivered superior experience, quality, and reliability to Richland Center and surrounding communities. With today's uncertain utility costs, they offer Bryant's hybrid heat system, the most economical solution for indoor heating and cooling, because it automatically chooses between gas and electric, whichever is the most economical form of energy available. To learn more, call Wirtz Plumbing and Heating, Highway 80 North, Richland Center. Bryant, whatever it takes.
Hornets will open up possession here in the second quarter, down 13-7. Not a bad start for the Hornets. They did not commit a foul, which is a plus. Turned the ball over quite a bit, though, thanks to that full court press. Hornets trying to work it inside out, and there's a nice drive by Madison Reisner as she gets the Hornets within 9-13. Cuba City leads. A great drive by Madison Reisner. That's what you want to see. Hornets doing a great job. And that's going to be a carry call by Chloe Christina.
Madison Reisner's drive is what you want to see from your freshman player.
Yes. Yes. A lot of talent on both sides of the ball. Just Cuba City has a little bit more experience. And that's what we've seen. That's why they have the lead thus far. Great passing inside to Allison Schaff, and she gets it to fall. Hornets go on a 4-0 run to open up the second quarter. They're within 13-11 as Chloe Pustina puts an end to that. She hits a three to give Cuba City back a 5-point lead, 16-11. So both teams coming out scoring as the Hornets are going to turn it over. Cassidy Whitney, Aaron Pass
That was the second triple for Chloe Pastina.
Yeah, that's someone the Hornets are going to have to watch out for on the outside, as Coach Ford will send Brooke Peterson back in for Allison Schaff.
At the Philback family of dealerships, our philosophy translates to exceptional service, money-saving specials, and the top Chevrolet, Ford, Buick, Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, Ram, and pre-owned vehicle inventory, plus the best selection and price to our southern Wisconsin area customers. New auto sales, pre-owned vehicles, auto service and repair, auto parts and accessories, even our own car financing, auto loans, and leasing department. Conveniently located in Highland, Boscobel, and Richland Center, and home of the lifetime engine warranty, the Philback family of dealerships, where the customer is first since 1948.
But a nice start for the Hornets to open up the second quarter, go on a 4-0 run. Of course, that was short-lived, thanks to Chloe Pustina. And she will take another three, and she drains it wide open, no pressure, as the Cubans take a 19-11 advantage. As we see the full court press, Hornets have numbers right now. They will have to slow it up. Cross court, Brooklyn Legal, can she? And she hits her first three of the season. And that's what we want to see as she gives the fist pump there. Hornets back within 19-14. As Pustina tries a long three, rebounded down low by Katja Spielvogel. So great rebound there. That gives Cuba City a 21-14 lead. A scoring bonanza to open up the second quarter. What was a defensive game has now turned into an offensive game. As a turnover by the Hornets. Nice block by Madison Reisner, but rebounded by Morgan Vosberg as she gets fouled on the shot.
First foul on the Hornets. It would be on Brooklyn Legal. 5:56 to go in the first half.
So Vosberg, who hit the last shot of the opening quarter, she will miss her first free throw attempt. As Shawnee Fink comes in for Cassidy Whitney, she will get a breather. And Vosberg will hit the second and give Cuba City a 22-14 lead at the 5:56 mark. Hornets get it in as they get it up to Lexi Ewing. She will pass it to Shawnee Fink. She goes on a drive, trying to drive between three defenders. That is not going to work and gets stripped. Again, Caitlin Kaiser goes in. Take that back, Shay Learman. As she gets fouled on her shots.
First on Lexi Ewing, second Hornet team foul.
Cubans are getting a little bit more aggressive. And she will miss her first free throw attempt. Coach Ford trying to get an explanation from the referee. Maybe getting... As her second shot will just roll in, as we will see another substitution for the Hornets.
Whatever your project, large or small, city or rural, you need a good design at a fair price. Call Woodland Consultants of Richland Center and let their many years of engineering experience work for you. Larry Fowler is ready to help you from the very beginning of your project right through to completion. Call him soon at 647-2191. Located at 755 Valley View Drive in Richland Center, Woodland Consultants, Incorporated.
23-14, Cuba City leads Richland Center, 5:42 in the second quarter here at the RCHS Fieldhouse. That's Cassidy Whitney, now double teamed and she will turn it over. Chloe Pustina as a three shot by Cuba City is off the mark, rebounded and put up by Katja Spielvogel. Another rebound and score for Cuba City extends their lead 25-14. It's this full court press. Shawnee Fink comes back into the game for the Hornets. Hornets need to continue to work on that. They're doing a great job of passing it around the perimeter and being able to find that inside person. As Brooklyn Legal gets it across the timeline, trying to find Brooke Peterson down low, can't. And the Hornets are tied up. And it'll be Cuba City ball after the tie-up.
Shawnee Fink being a little too unselfish there, probably should have taken the shot.
Yep, that's true. Should have just tried up for the layup, and that's been, I think, some differences in the way these two teams and the score. As another three by Chloe Pustina is off the mark, and we will have a jump ball called. Madison Reisner had the rebound for a minute. She juggled it, and that's the reason why there was a jump ball. Again, tough D, and we're going to have a blocking call. Another foul coming on Cuba City. Shay Learman.
That's her first, the fifth on the Cubans.
Fouls starting to add up for Cuba City. As a tough pass. Nice job by Madison Reisner. And the pass to Brooke Peterson is Aaron from Shawnee Fink. And another turnover for the Hornets. Let's see if they can get another stop. Here's a drive by Jessie Barton. And nice job finding Molly Wadig for the bucket. 27-14 now, Cuba City leads. 4:17 remaining. Hornets get it across the timeline. They tried. Nice pass by Brooke Legal, and it's in for Lexi Ewing. That's the Hornets' first bucket in quite a while. The Hornets trail 27-16 now at the 4-minute mark. There's a three by Chloe Pustina from long range once again. She's not afraid to take that shot. Brooklyn Legal tipped, and it's going to be taken away by Caitlin Kaiser, and a foul. Looks like Shawnee Fink will possibly pick up a foul here.
Well, I thought he signaled 22.
Yeah.
Paige Perkins isn't in the game.
No.
So it must have been on Shawnee.
Yeah, that's who it looked like.
That's her first and the third on the Hornets.
Yes.
Williams and Pierce Family Dental Practice, located right downtown in Richland Center. Regular checkups are the key to a brighter smile. Make a program of professional dental care from Williams and Pierce a family habit. Phone 647-3993 for Williams and Pierce Family Dental Practice. TitleWorks LLC Richland Center offers accurate, efficient, and confidential real estate title services to the greater Richland County area. Let Mark Crary, managing member, and his staff at TitleWorks LLC give you peace of mind when you make that all-important property purchase. See them at 161 North Central Avenue, Richland Center, or call 647-7900. TitleWorks LLC, proud to support our local youth. There's so many lights not functioning on these clocks.
Yeah, you have to kind of look at both to make sure you have the...
And it's not due to maintenance. They're worn out. And one of the projects of the Richland Center High School Booster Club, Sports Booster Club, is to get new clocks for the field house.
Yeah, these are, I believe, original clocks since when they built this facility here.
15 years old, and it's yesterday's technology.
Yeah, it's definitely due for an upgrade. And they'll be well served once they do get that. And we'll have a foul coming on Lexi Ewing.
Lexi's second.
So 2 shots coming for, I believe, Chloe Pustina is shooting the free throws. As she misses the first one. The Cubans have missed quite a few free throws thus far tonight, which is kind of surprising. There's the second free throw, and she hits that, giving the Cubans a 28-16 lead. And she will be substitute out. Coming in for the Cubans is Emily Wiederholt. 3:41 remaining in the second quarter. Cubans lead the Hornets 28-16. And again, Hornets struggling against this full court press. That's something going to be addressed at halftime, I believe, by Coach Ford. Madison Reiser trying to get it in.
Yeah,
trying to get it
too
in.
long.
And 5 seconds will be the call again. It's just amazing, this press scheme that Jeff Pustina puts in that just about every team struggles against, no matter who they're playing. And that's personally what I believe has been the difference in giving them in success in their many state tournament runs over the last how many plus years.
Yeah, he's had him there a lot.
And another three coming by the Cubans, but rebounded. That's something the Hornets can't do. Caitlin Kaiser gets the rebound.
You got to have luck, too.
Came right to her. That gives the Cubans a 30-16 advantage at 3:10 in the second quarter. What was a back-and-forth battle, the Cubans have pulled out away from the Hornets. Madison Reisner struggled to get it into Brooke Peterson. Quick pass to Brooklyn Legal down low. Here's a shot by Peterson, just off, and rebounded by the Cubans. Nice passing work, and that will be Molly Wadig for another bucket. 32-16, Cubans lead, 2:36.
5 for Wadig.
What started out to be a promising start for the Hornets in this quarter, they went on a 4-0 run, has turned to be a Cuba City Cuban quarter. And there's a pass, couldn't be handled by Madison Reiser. A great job by Allison Shaw with the pass and a nice drive to get the Hornets another 2 points. 32-18, Cubans lead.
Schaff has 4.
4 points off the bench, too, I might add. Nice shot and drive by Jessica Marty, but just rims out. Nice rebound by the Hornets. Let's see if they get within 12 of the Cubans. Brooklyn Legal trying to get it to Shaw, and it's going to be deflected by the Cubans. 3 substitutions now for Jeff Pustina.
1:36 to go in the half. Oh, this game moving right along.
Yeah, it's been not too many fouls called. You know, both teams not even close really to the bonus. Cubans have the 5, but kind of interesting because both teams play an aggressive style, and not to see that many. There's a nice jump shot by Brooklyn Legal. That's something she just missed as the Hornets struggle to get back, and they are going to have a lucky call as Morgan Bosberg travels with it. She had a clear lane to the basket. So the Hornets can pull within single digits if they wanted to, if they could hit a 3, but trailing 32-20. 1:13 in the second quarter. Legal handles the ball on top. Guarded by Pustina. Gets it off to Reisner. Shaw gets it over top to Brooke Peterson and gets the home roll. And the Hornets are within 10, 32-22. 45 seconds remaining before we hit the half. Here at the another long 3, and Pustina nails it. I think she practices that shot. The Cubans take a 35-22 lead. Again, Pustina shuts down the Hornets rally, and she's going to get the steal and the basket. Chloe Pustina, 5 points in a row for the Cubans. Extend their lead at 37-22. 10 seconds remaining. And the Hornets, there's Madison Reiser going up with the shot. Rims off. Allison Schaaf with the rebound. And a jump ball called with 2.1 seconds remaining. Cubans will get the ball back. Chloe Pustina, half-court shot is just off the mark.
Online, it looked like.
Yes, it was online, just short. I mean, she was hitting close to NBA range threes. So Richland Center will have the ball after the half. That's maybe a plus. But they trailed the Cubans 37-22 here at the RCHS Fieldhouse.
It used to be that in order for us to be convenient, we practically had to be in your backyard. But now you can visit WCCU Credit Union from your home, at work, while you're shopping, or away at college. Just log into your WCCU account from your phone or other mobile device to see your balances, transfer money, pay bills, and much more. You can even access them from your Facebook page. But what really sets WCCU apart is that your questions are still answered by local people you've come to know and trust. For worldwide convenience with local service, visit WCCU Credit Union, with offices in Westby, Viroqua, Richland Center, Reedsburg, Cashton, Lake Delton, and now open in Baraboo. Or visit us online at wccucreditunion.coop.
Helping you build a better life. WCCU Credit Union feels so right.
Quick look at scoring at halftime. Brooklyn Legal leading the Hornets with 7. She has a triple and a field goal in each quarter. Pretty even scoring otherwise. Allison Schaaf with 4. Brooke Peterson has 4. 3 for Madison Reisner, and 2 each for Cassidy Whitney and Lexi Ewing. But the big story in scoring is Chloe Pustina with 15 for the Cubans, including 4 triples, and another field goal, and 1 out of 2 from the free throw line. And then their scoring drops off quite a bit, but when you've got that kind of a scoring leader, it can do that. Katja Spielvogel has 6. 5 for Molly Weddy, 4 for Caitlin Kaiser, 4 for Jessie Marty, and 3 by Morgan Vosberg, with a total of 37 at the half for Cuba City. They lead it here 37-22 at halftime. Support for Hornet Replay comes from the Richland Hospital in Richland Center. Richland Hospital and Richland Sports Medicine is proud to support Hornet Athletics. Well, Ryan, we talked about the tough non-conference schedule that Coach Board books. He books these teams year after year, and I don't think you can explain the value of this game to the Hornet team, playing somebody that tough this early in the season. Now, Sauk Prairie was more on the Hornets level, but the other non-conference games, besides Cuba City, the Hornets next week will be playing La Crosse Central here, and their other non-conference opponents are Madison Edgewood, West Salem, and La Crosse Logan, and those are the home games that they'll be playing.
Yeah, on the road they're going to Onalaska, and they're going at Stoughton. Plus, they're traveling up to Westby. Yep. And Westby's another good Division IV team that has made some tournament runs.
Now, one thing about the SWC is that you get to book a lot of non-conference because there aren't enough teams in the conference. So, while it can be tough, and you lose to a Cuba City or even to a Sauk Prairie, those games don't count against you in the conference standings, and they really, really are educational.
Yeah, and we've seen it year in and year out with this Richland Center program that by playing these tough non-conference teams that really no one else in the conference plays this kind of schedule, as even if they haven't had the best season, they've gone pretty far in the post-tournament, which is, I think, the goal of any team. besides winning the conference, your next step is to make it on to the levels, possibly a sectional berth, because the amount of regional titles that this Hornet program has tallied up in the past couple decades is just tremendous.
Well, the Hornet, the SWC conference, I should say, has not proven to be an easy road either.
No, it's probably one of the, it's a great conference to play in terms of you see a wide variety of different styles, and you see a couple different levels of play in terms of a couple teams drop off.
One thing we didn't mention either about the Sauk City game, we were surprised to see their head coach was Josh Bush, who has been several years at Dodgeville, and he moved on.
Yeah, it's kind of surprising because he helped build that Dodgeville program to what it is today, because, if you just think about it, the Dodgeville program really was irrelevant just a few years ago, and now they're battling for the conference and battling in some tough tournament plays.
We'll see what effect his departure has on that. Jones Chevrolet Buick Cadillac Incorporated, Richland Center. Visit us at joneschev.com. We are the car and truck people of Southwest Wisconsin. Highway 14 East, phone 647-3788. Chevy, find new roads. The third quarter about to get underway. The Hornets trailing 37-22. Here again is Ryan.
Thanks, Rod. Hornets maybe trailing by 15, but they've had plenty of opportunity. It's basically they've been beaten by Chloe Pustina tonight. They've had some great runs, and they've done a great job of rebounding. And we've seen Cuba City getting a couple fouls, a couple of players with a couple fouls on them tonight. So we'll see how that plays out in the second half. And we'll see if hopefully the Hornets can keep it close. And you just never know on your home court. You'll never know what could happen. Let's see if they can get this a crowd into it as well. That can make a difference too.
There are not enough people here, considering we're playing the defending Division IV state champions. Should be some local people came out just to see them.
Yeah, that's true, and I'm sure there's a lot of scouting going on tonight as well from across the state tonight, depending on if your team is playing or not. As we're just, the early start of this basketball season. Hornets, their home opener. Hard to believe it's already basketball season, and how the seasons just move right along.
They go faster and faster as you get older.
So I guess the good thing is the Hornets will start out the second half, thanks to that last second change in possession, as Brooklyn Legal will bring it across the timeline. As we see this very tough Cuba City defense, right in your face pressure, making you do just about everything right if you're going to score on Cuba City. There's Madison Reiser down low, and she will get fouled. Nice job by the freshman. Another foul coming up on Cuba City. That's on Allie Abercamp. Nope, excuse me. Chloe Pustina gets her first foul of the night. And Reisner drains the first one. Hornets get on the board first here in the second half. They trail Cuba City 37-23. And there's number 2, and that goes in as well. 24-37. Cuba City leads. Just getting underway in the third quarter. 7.5 minutes remaining. And a nice job by Cuba City. That's going to Caitlin Keisner. Gets a great job behind the defense as Cuba City responds to remain their 15-point lead at 39-24. It's just amazing the area that Cuba City has had, and in terms of how long they've had this program stay so strong, especially at the high school level.
For so long.
It just seems like it's a never-ending trail of players that just keep on rotating in and out, as we see another inside shot. And nice job with the rebound by Cassidy Whitney.
This is a school of like 235 kids, something like that.
Yes.
Oh.
And especially the competition that really they have is Chloe Pustina gets the steal, and she's going to get a carry double dribble. So a break for the Hornets. But there's a lot of schools in that Cuba City area that a lot of schools are drawing off of kids. So it's amazing that they can keep the program going for this long, this good. And I don't know how many state titles they've had in this, Jeff Pustina era of the Cuba City Cubans, but it's definitely got to rank up there across the state. As the Hornets, again, working on this Cuba City defense, Cassidy Whitney, and she's going to get another carry call. So another turnover coming on the Hornets tonight, trailing by 15 points in this third quarter. As the Cubans work it around top, that's Caitlin Kaiser back to Chloe Pustina, who's going to take a three, and it's nothing but net for Chloe Pustina, who had a hand in her face. And that gives the Cubans an 18-point lead at 42-24 at the 6-minute mark of this third quarter. So the Cubans are really starting to put it on. But
fifth triple by Pustina.
I was just about to say, it's really just been Chloe Pustina tonight for the Cubans. So as another turnover is coming by the Hornets, this time driven. Nice job by Madison Reisner, cutting off the lane there. That by Jessica Marty, who we talked a lot earlier on in this contest, getting the preseason All-State team honors. It's kind of surprising that Chloe Pustina didn't make that list the way she's been playing tonight. And if she keeps this up all season, I'm sure she will make the honors at the end of the season. As another turnover coming by the Hornets as they get it up to Jessica Martin as she steps out of bounds, so the errant pass. So really the Cubans are making quite a few mistakes that are sort of keeping
exactly
the
Hornets what Jeff Pustina's thinking right now is we're making too many mistakes.
I mean, the Hornets have taken advantage of some mistakes, and they've done a lot of good as well. As Brooke Peterson finds Brooklyn Legal down low, and will be fouled, I believe, coming up on Chloe Pustina.
It's her second on the Cubans here in quarter number 3.
So again, the Cubans have quite a few players with double in the foul range as Brooklyn Legal hits her first free throw. That makes it 42-25 in favor of the Cubans. And there's number 2, just a little bit too much as the Cubans rebound it. And it will remain a 42-25 advantage. And there's Caitlin Kaiser with the shot, and it will be a foul coming up on the Hornets.
Every day of every week, Bernstad's Market in the Richland Square brings you variety, quality, and great service. Proud to support our local youth, they invite you to join in too. And shop Bernstad's Market each week for great buys and bargains. That's Bernstad's Market in the Richland Square Shopping Center. City Utilities Richland Center, providing electric, water, and wastewater recycling services to the entire city. Our staff consists of local people you know and trust, who provide the best service available at a reasonable cost. Richland Center, a WPPI energy community, and a public utilities community since 1880. Calls on Madison Reisner. Her first on the Hornets here in the third.
There could be one shining spot so far in this game. The Hornets have done a great job not fouling.
Especially compared to Sauk City.
Yes, that was, I don't know if that was just first game jitters. You're on the road. As Caitlin Kaiser makes the free throw. And that will give the Cubans a 43-25 As looks like we got a foul coming up on Cuba City. Another foul. That coming up on Morgan Vosberg. Her first, team's third. Brooklyn Legal brings it across the timeline. Passes it to Lexi Ewing. Hornets working it around the key up to Brooke Peterson, who steps out of the lane. Shawnee Fink working it on the far side. There's Madison Reisner back to Shawnee Fink. And it's going to be another turnover for the Hornets. Shawnee thought Madison was going to stay right there as she takes a step forward and right to the Cuba City defender. Here's Chloe Pustina with another three. Wide open. This time misses. Nice board by Madison Reisner, and it will be a jump ball. And it will stay with Cuba City. So a missed three by Chloe Pustina. As a nice job inbounds, and that's Molly Wadig with the bucket. They lead by 20, Cuba City, 45-25. And we have a timeout by the Hornets at the 3:58 mark in the third quarter. Cuba City leads Richland Center 45-25.
State Representative Ed Brooks of Reedsburg supports our youth and their activities. Paid for by Brooks for Assembly. Paul Rasmussen, Treasurer. Crossroads Youth Ministry, Richland Center, serving the young people of Richland Center and Richland County since 1989. Crossroads provides a safe place for youth to come and play and learn about Jesus Christ. Adults volunteer to help impact the lives of our young people in a positive and meaningful way. By planting the seeds of fruit in the lives of youth within our community, Crossroads Youth Ministry gives them hope and helps equip them with the resources needed to meet the challenges of life. We haven't talked much about the rule changes, and this might be a good time when nothing's happening, but one of the big rule changes is that for years, the players lined up along the side of the free throw line, or the free throw lane, had to wait until the ball hit the rim or the net or the backboard before they could go into the lane. They've taken that away. As soon as the ball is released by the shooter now, they can collapse into the lane. Just the players who are lined up, though, not everybody.
Yes, this is to help the referee because, especially when you only have two referees, there's so much they would have to watch just before the ball would hit the rim, and so that just gives them one less thing that they have to worry about during a free throw, especially when it's going to come down, when you have games coming right down to the wire.
Yep.
And then also, I believe we were talking about the new, when someone's dribbling down, the new contact rules that they have put in place, which is definitely going to change the game and probably the way coaches. They
can't rest both hands on the player with the ball. They can't.
And you can't make two contacts with the same hand. That's going to change too. As the Hornets, and that's going to be a foul coming up on Jessica Marty.
She looks real surprised, but
yeah, it looked like it was an easy call for the referee to make. She made definitely contact with Brooklyn Legal there.
I think they call that a push.
Yeah. So that will be team foul number 4 for the Cubans. As Madison Reisner gets it into Shawnee Fink and across the timeline. As Madison Reisner is going to do a carry, so the carry call has been in play a lot tonight. If only tallied how many times they've had to call that tonight. On both teams, actually, it's kind of surprising. So another turnover.
Turnovers have been an indication of how early it is in the season.
And there's a drive by Molly Wadig. A nice pass down low. They give the Cubans a 47-25 advantage at the 3.5-minute mark of the third quarter. So it's been all Cuba City in the second half. And that's going to be another turnover by the Hornets, by Brooklyn Legal. And there's a shot missed. Rebound Quad 4 with Madison Reisner and Morgan Vosberg. It'll be a jump ball coming back this direction.
Allison Schaff back in the game for the Hornets. And
as well as
Brooke Peterson is out. Lexi Ewing comes out. Not sure who came in.
Cassidy Whitney came in for Lexi Ewing. And there's a deflection by Shay Learman for Cuba City. It's just amazing how disciplined these Cuba City players are.
And you don't have to go back too many years that it was Richland Center doing all this defense and not allowing teams to bring the ball down the floor and throw it inbound. So they'll learn it.
Yes, that's true. And another turnover coming on the Hornets, a carry call, and when you have to force a team, and another great pass as she gets her own rebound. That's Molly Wadig down low again, getting around the Hornet defender, as we were talking about earlier. As the Hornets had Allison Schaff wide open, Madison Reiser could not get her as Brooklyn Legal will take the shot. It's going to rim out as Cuba City has numbers. As Jessica Marty goes in for the layup. It was a 3-on-1. No chance for the Hornets. As Richland Center taking a timeout. I believe, yes, Richland Center is taking another timeout at 2:28. Cuba City leads 51-25.
Culligan, your water store for farm, home, and industry. Water softeners, bottled water, and salt delivery, plus drinking water systems. Phone 647-3444 for Culligan. Hey, Culligan man. Genuine Telecom, your local solution for all technology needs, including but not limited to telephone, digital TV, internet, business circuits, and data services. Call 608-647-2345 or stop by our offices at 1027 North Jefferson Street in Richland Center, or visit us online at www.genuinetel.com. Genuine Telecom.
As the Hornets see themselves trailing 26 points with 2:28 remaining in the third quarter. Now, when you can limit possessions to an offense, you're gonna put yourself in a great chance as Madison Reisner slips and falls on the pass.
Well,
so another turnover.
She only slipped because somebody hooked her
leg. Was there a little
leg.
help there? So that's the downfall of only having a two-man referee. Is a great drive by Shay Learman, and she extends the Cuba City lead at 53-25. The Cubans showing their great athleticism there, driving the baseline. Again, this Hornet squad is a very young squad. They don't even start, as it will go back to Cuba City.
Yep, she was falling out of bounds, so she just bounced it off Allison Schaff. And
Caitlin Kaiser, as she will be replaced. She will get a great rest, as Coach Bustina making some substitutions now. Not a very deep bench for this Cuba City
he's got a lot
squad.
more people than that on the roster.
Yeah, I don't know if there's some sickness going around, as there's a three-shot miss by Chloe Pustina. Rebound to Richland Center. It's kind of surprising, of course. You gotta, if you're gonna make this varsity squad for Cuba City, you're gonna have to be at your best, and gotta be able to put out your best effort for Jeff Pustina. That's for sure.
He has 11 players on his roster. There might be that. There's 5.
Oh,
as
as Johnny Fink slips and falls again, so Hornets struggling in this third quarter. Less than a minute now, trailing Cuba City 53-25. Again, there's Molly Wadig with the shot. She possibly could have went a pass to Rachel Langmeyer, but decided to take the shot. Was that a foul on?
Foul on Ellie Jones, her first.
That will be the team's 5th foul.
Well, I don't know what happened to this quarter. The game was moving quickly before. Seems like this quarter has taken a long time.
As a nice pass to Shawnee Fink, and it just rims out. So a tough break, as we will have a jump ball going back to Cuba City. So a great pass to Shawnee Fink in the lane, but just missed the layup. Tough break for the Hornets.
Yeah, they haven't had too many opportunities like that.
Yeah, that was the same as in that Sauk Prairie game. The Hornets had plenty of great looks, just missed the shot. As we've seen, a dribble drive by Chloe Pusina and a layup to end the 3rd quarter. As the Cuba City Cubans lead the Richland Center Hornets after 3, 55-25, here at the RCHS Fieldhouse.
University of Wisconsin-Richland. The U for you. Alcam Creamery is your local supplier of delicious creamy butter since 1946. We take fresh cream and produce the best butter solids, butter quarters, whipped butter, and of course our premium hand-rolled butter. Try some creamy Alcam butter today. It's just like Grandma used to make. Remember, everything tastes better with butter. Alcam butter.
And welcome back to the Richland Center High School Fieldhouse, as the Cuba City Cubans have put on a defense and offensive clinic here in front of us, only allowing the Hornets to score 3 points in the 3rd quarter. Some of that attributes to the Richland Center Hornets turnovers, and they've had a couple missed shots, but a lot of tribute to this Cuba City press.
Nice job there by Brooke Peterson. She's going to lose the ball, so she tipped it off the legs of the Cuba City player and it went out of bounds.
Yeah, she's someone who has put a lot of effort over the years for this Richland Center program, and it's showing, especially last year. She came up big down low. Hornets trying to put a little bit of offense as we hit the final quarter here, as they open up
Help her out.
the home season. Oh, a pass trying to get to Brooke Peterson. Take it away as Madison Reiser gets a takeaway out of her own. And deflected by Cuba City.
Yeah, it looked like Emily Wiederholt was there to knock that one out.
So Brooklyn Legal will try to get the inbounds in. She does to Reisner. Reisner had it open, look from 3. That's something we've seen over these opening games. The Hornets have kind of been afraid to shoot the ball when they've been open. They've been more looking to pass it instead of taking that shot.
Yeah, this is great if you're ahead by 10.
Yes.
But
I mean, that's something we haven't seen in teams of previous. They've been more keen to take that 3, or at least try to get a shot up. Hornets taking a lot of time on this possession. Maybe working on some plays.
And the Cubans just get hands up and knock balls out of bounds. And
yeah, they're definitely going to be the favorites coming in for the SWAL conference, that's for sure. And of course, I'm sure they'll be a favorite to be back in Madison come March time, as a layup by Madison Reisner rims in and out. Nice rebound by Shawnee Fink. Hornets remain possession. Probably over a minute now, I would say. They've had the ball. As Cassidy Whitney gets it into Brooke Peterson. She's going to take a 3 shot, and it is good. Cassidy Whitney with 3. As Hornets go up to 28, but still trail Cuba City 55-28 here in the fourth quarter. As Chloe Pustina, a long three, but rebounded down low. That's going to go to Emily Wiederholt. Amazing. Chloe Pustina will just be walking up the court and shoots a three. As the Cuba City Cubans take a 57-28 lead. Trying to get it into Brooke Peterson, and it is taken away by Katja Spielvogel. It's another turnover by the Hornets. So we hit the 5-minute mark of the fourth quarter. Great effort by Molly Wadig to keep possession for Cuba City. Cuba City gets it in. Ellie Jones with the ball. Cuba City's probably looking to take some time off the clock with a 57-28 lead in the fourth quarter. There's a three ball by Emily Wiederholt. Another three coming is short, that time by Allie Abercamp. Jeff Pustina looks like he's set most of his starters now, as that will go off of Madison Reisner, and Cuba City will get the ball back.
KCS, Call Communication Systems, your authorized U.S. cellular agent, located at 2494 Highway 14 East, Richland Center. KCS offers complete cell phone sales and service and supports the Richland Center Hornets and all our area youth. Call KCS at 647-7104. Support for Hornet Replay comes from Country Kitchen Richland Center, located at Ramada Inn, 1450 Veterans Drive. Open at 6 a.m. daily, Country Kitchen offers their delicious breakfasts anytime. Enjoy their daily buffet with mouth-watering selections and variations. And they offer great senior and kids menus too. For great food and great service, it's Country Kitchen Richland Center.
So it looks like most of the starters are on the bench now for Jeff Pustina, as they've definitely earned it tonight. Morgan Vosberg with the shot, and rebounded by Brooklyn Legal as she brings it up the court for the Hornets. Passes it off to Cassidy Whitney. Again, could have shot the three, but
Yeah, she was a little off balance, I think.
it's good to see the Hornets have made a couple threes tonight. You know, that's going to be key. As a great job by Brooklyn Legal to get behind the defense. And she gets the layup. Hornets trail 57-30 at the 3:46 mark of the fourth quarter. So Hornets trailing by 27.
Ten points for Brooklyn.
That's what the Hornets needed last week against Sauk Prairie.
Yeah. Yeah, she had two. That would have done it.
As the Cuba City Cubans turn it over, Emily Schaaf gets it as she gives it to Brooklyn Legal, who drives it up as she tries to get it into Shawnee Fink. A dangerous pass. Trying to force it to Shawnee Fink in between three defenders. That's not what you wanted to do, as Cuba City Cubans had numbers. Emily Wiederholtz misses the shot and rebounded by the Hornets.
Yeah, Wiederholtz had a little ball control trouble.
So again, Brooklyn Legal gets the drive, and she will go to the line. And one coming for Brooklyn Legal, as the Hornets trail Cuba City now 57-34, or 32, I should say. At the 2:50 mark, and that is good for Brooklyn Legal. So she gets the old-fashioned three-point play as the Hornets trail Cuba City 57-33, 2:46 to go in the game. So the Hornets possibly could have got a steal as we have a 3-ball coming. It's short, but rebounded by Cuba City. So they will remain with the ball. So another 3 coming by Cuba City. Kind of surprising, but they're not afraid to shoot, even coming off the bench. So we are going to hit the 2-minute mark of the game as Paige Perkins has checked in, as mishandled by Allison Schaff. She could have had an easy layup, but just mishandles the pass. As Cuba City, nice passing work again by Allie Averkamp, trying to get it to Rachel Langmeyer, and that's taken away by Paige Perkins as she is fouled. As she will go to the line for the bonus. Cuba City committing 7 fouls to just 1 this half by Richland Center. Kind of amazing that the Hornets haven't committed more fouls with as many chances that Cuba City Cubans have shot the ball. So the sophomore Paige Perkins goes to the line, and she hits the first of an and one. Hornets trail 57-34 now. Minute 36 left in the game. And that just gets rim. So 1 of 2 for Paige Perkins, who gets on the board tonight. So quite a few players scoring for Richland Center tonight, as a 3-ball by Megan Vosberg, as she nails it to give the Cuba City Cubans a 60-34 lead. 1:14 remaining in the game. So all around, this Cuba City team is able to hit the 3. A lot of offensive players, even coming off the bench. Here's a drive by Lexi Ewing, and she will get it. Nice baseline drive by Lexi Ewing, as the Hornets now trail 60-36. 45 seconds remaining in the game. We'll see if the Cubans will just do a little passing work. There's Ellie Jones, as she will take the shots as it rims off, and Madison Reiser, she's 1 on 2 as she goes to the rim and just misses the bucket. Possibly a 3-point play, but she will get 2 shots coming up. 23.9 seconds remaining in the ball game.
Allie Averkamp got the foul.
18 fouls for the Cubans, as the first shot by Reisner is short. Here's attempt number 2 for Reisner, and this time she hits it, so 1 of 2 for Madison. The Hornets trail 60-37, and this will probably do it. 15 seconds remaining. And it's a shot by Ellie Jones, not afraid to take the 3, and saved by Lexi Ewing. So the Hornets with 5 seconds. We'll see if they can get one final shot by Cassidy Whitney. Will come up way short. And that's the ball game from Richland Center High School. Cuba City Cubans win 60-37.
Brooklyn Legal with 13, but no one else in double figures, and that really hurts. Madison Reisner had 6, Cassidy Whitney 5, 4 apiece for Lexi Ewing, Allison Schaff, and Brooke Peterson, and 1 point for Paige Perkins, for the total of 37 for Richland Center. Cuba City led by Chloe Pastina with 20. Molly Wadig had 11. 7 points for Caitlin Kaiser. 6 each for Jessie Marty, Morgan Vosberg, and Caitlin Spielvogel. And then 2 each for Emily Wiederholt and Shay Learman for the total of 60 for the Cubans. And it looks like, although it was their first contest, doesn't look like Jeff Pastina's team is going to have too much trouble getting into the swing of things this year.
Yeah, that's for sure. I'm sure that they'll be playing some tough competition as well. And, of course, they'll have some interesting matchups in the SWAL. But I think everyone's going to be watching out for this Cuba City team down the road in the WIA tournament series down the stretch. And, of course, this Hornet squad, they'll have a nice week next week, as they'll have host two more home games next week, as they will host La Crosse Central on Tuesday night next week and open up an early conference game with Platteville on Thursday. So some tough competition, as Platteville was up there as well in the league last season.
Yeah, it looks like we'll be covering that Platteville Hornet game on the 4th of December.
Yeah, that should be a great matchup, and we'll see how these early non-conference games fared for this young Hornet squad, as we'll see if they can get an opening conference victory over which will be a pretty tough Platteville team coming in here to the field house.
That's the story of tonight's contest. Final score once again was Cuba City 60 and Richland Center 37. Thanks to our many fine sponsors for making our telecasts possible. Please patronize them, as they really support Hornet sports. Thanks also to everyone here at Richland Center High School and to you, our viewers. Now this is Rod Perry, along with Ryan Zolik and our camera operator Deidre Perry, saying so long for now. The 21st consecutive year of Hornet Replay is a feature of Perry Production.